This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Sensible, huh? You think that's where we are right now? Track your father down, stabbed him in the neck, burnt the place to the ground, went to the KGB for help, got you chained in a fucking basement. I wake up in the middle of the night, sweating. Can't fucking breathe. Sensible been gone, motherfucker.
Hey man, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we're giving you our very own takes and reviews of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's going on with you, my guy?
Man, listen. Boy, you want to talk about? We'll get there, man. Listen, I'm doing all right, man. You know, I'm making it out here in these streets. I'm just a man out here trying to survive, man, and also putting in this content. But how you feeling, man? Everything good?
Man, I am elated, my brother. Finally got my laptop back, people. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had some hand clap sounds. Man, listen, bro, I'm so happy, man. I got my laptop back, man. Things is going back. So ladies and gentlemen, video will be back up on Spotify very soon. So y'all keep an eye out on that. But outside of that, man, everything is going great, bro. I cannot complain. It's been a beautiful day. It's been raining here and there, but it's only been sprinkling, so it ain't been that bad. And we back in the 70s, man. You know what I'm saying? Springtime is here, bro. All that cold weather shit is out the window. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
What's up?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Good deal, man. Look, I'm glad. I'm so glad, dude, that we did this whole other thing to move to what we watching, so we can get everything we need to get in on Snowfall because of
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Listen, y'all. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all heard a little excerpt of what happened on the latest episode of Snowfall. That's right, man. You already know if you're here and if it's on this day, you know what I'm saying, second episode of the week, we into the Snowfall cast, man. This is what we doing. So first off, let me just say, what the fuck? Okay? What the entire fuck, bro? Like I don't even know where to begin. So much happened in this episode, but to give you guys a quick synopsis, leaving off of episode 8, Franklin had set up and devised a plan to get to Teddy. He finally got Teddy, and as an additional piece, he also got the KGB agent as well. He has them tied up and chained up in a secluded, abandoned building. And him, Sissy, Veronique, and Leon are all basically trying to interrogate Teddy so they can get that money. Also in this episode, Louis was pretty much raided by the DEA. She ended up getting away with Buckley, and she ends up finding out that Buckley lied to her at the after the funeral about getting a gun to Jerome. And trying to see what I'm missing. Yeah, and then last but not least, Sissy made possibly, depending on whose side you're on in this one, she made either the worst move of the whole show, or she made possibly the best move of the whole show. But that's pretty much what happened in this episode. So let's get into it, man. Let's do this, bro. Where did we go wrong, man? Where the fuck did we go wrong, man? He was so close to that goddamn money, bro. One simple word changed everything.
The money was at his grasp, man. He could feel it. He had a little grit. Look, first of all, okay, all right. The acting performance that he put now, don't get me wrong, he's been good throughout all 6 seasons, but like with more and more of him being Franklin, he's really, you know what I'm saying, becoming someone that is really not to be fucked with anymore as far as like the performance that he's putting on.
Absolutely.
And not just this season, but like this episode was, he put on a clinic, man.
Yeah, man.
Like when he put that little grin on his face when Teddy was about to say the password, you know what I mean? And then just how quick that look came off of his face, man. It was just so crazy. But Damson, man, like what he's doing is like he's putting himself on a higher echelon, man, because this was just, this episode was so good. It's like the ones where people die in them. It's like when Jerome died, it was just like, yo, that episode. Now they had a few things in there that was like, okay, like my pimp dude, he was a terrible actor, but the episode around that was phenomenal. But to see what happened, because like there's so much to pick apart when it comes to the whole situation with Teddy and all that type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to Louis getting raided, like the episode starts off with Louis, she's getting bags together, she get a page, she page back, and she's, you know, asking Franklin. Basically, she knew it was Franklin, so and he just comes straight out with it, yo, you being raided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The DEA been watching you for a while. So she finds a way to escape, and then she makes her way to a phone. She calls Buckley. Buckley comes scoop her up, and she's like, look, she's like, that fucker waited till I gave him what he wanted to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, that I was being raided. Now, there's two ways to look at that.
Yeah.
Number one, yes, he definitely wanted to get what he needed out of you.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, he didn't have to let you know they was coming either to give you an opportunity to leave.
The game is the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I felt like through this whole thing, like it's plenty of times he could have let her, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, take the L. But one way or another, he always finds a way to redeem himself. You know what I'm saying? Whenever those two are at odds. It seemed to me like she wouldn't have did that for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that would have been, you know what I'm saying, the same move for him. And then you got to remember too, like, for her to be in the position she's in, and for her to kind of, you know what I'm saying, like, really want revenge against him, the fact that he even did that, she should really be appreciative of that, because he could have just been like, fuck you. And, you know what I'm saying, and let her hang and go down, and, you know what I'm saying, in the blaze of glory, however that would have possibly went down. The fact that he even gave her a call and let her know, like, hey, they on your ass. You know what I'm saying? She talking about, yeah, he waited for everything to happen, but I mean, shit, if you think about it, say he would have told her earlier, I feel like she'd have got caught. Because the way she moved throughout this whole, like, throughout every season we watched, the way that she moves recklessly. We just got done talking about just, you know what I'm saying, how she let the best of her emotions. I mean, she let her emotions get the best of her. And you know what I'm saying? And we seen where that led her. You know what I mean? Like, Kane got her fucked up. So, I mean, I don't know. I think he did the right thing. Like, yo, they on your ass. They right there. So get your ass up out of there.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But like Louis, like you said, she moves off of emotion. Just like I feel like you have to know how to read a room and read certain situations, because when she was sitting in front of Sissy and be like, yo, like, my husband just died, my world just died. And it's like, yo, you're talking to a person whose husband also died, and the person that is your husband is her brother. So it's like,
absolutely.
like Louis, like she never completely thinks a situation out. And I know, but see, the problem is when she was sitting in the bottom of that car driving off with Buckley, it's all emotions.
Mm-hmm.
All she thinks about is herself at the end of the day. Oh, he waited till he got what he needed out of me. But it's like he didn't have to fucking tell you. So then
Absolutely.
Buckley's like, well, do they know me too? Did Franklin tell on me too? And so now Buckley, with his fucking high ass,
Man.
this motherfucker, this motherfucker asked when he pulls over, say he gotta pee, walks behind the tree and hit the fucking pipe. Comes around, Louis got the damn gun. And so Louis like, yo, I want to make sure. Like, I need to know that Jerome paid you. And initially, he's going off of what he said, man, I didn't get nothing, all this type of shit. So she finds the page after telling Buckley that she had a house and she had a stash there.
Yeah.
She was like, he's like, how much is it? She was like, you know what I'm saying, about $500,000 or whatnot. So he's like, yo, I won't have. He was like, I'm helping you get out the city. Now, the thing with Buckley, what Buckley don't seem to understand is like, dude, you have no leverage at this point. Like, you got her away from where she needed. You know what I mean? Like, she was far enough away to be like, hey, fuck this shit. Like, I can take you out right now. Like, I don't need you at this point. Like, I just needed you to get me out of that situation. I'm out of that situation now. And for him to think that she would give him half of $500,000.
Once they there, she'd have smoked that nigga.
Exactly.
Just like he smoked that rock. It'd have been over with. It'd have been over with, bro. Like, this is the thing about Buckley that I never liked, man. Because to me, he could have been a way better piece in this whole puzzle. He had, you know what I'm saying, to connect as far as being a cop. And he could have moved how he wanted to move at the end of the day. And let everything go. But he kind of fucked that up. You know what I'm saying? With everything he was doing, including smoking the rock. And I mean, if he'd have took a different path, he'd have been on some better shit.
Yeah, and I feel like Buckley, even with being a cop, he never thought anything through. And then at the same time, he never really made himself useful. Like every time he is needed, his judgment has always been off. And even when they asked him to do things, he never completed anything. Because think about it. They sent Buckley to go shoot Kane. Well, it wasn't even the fact that they sent him to go shoot Kane. They sent him to go kill Kane. What happened? Kane is in the fucking hospital. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They sent him to go kill Kane again. And come to find out, Franklin's over there. So he's like, oh, well, he got out because Franklin there. No, motherfucker. We sent you to do a job that you didn't even complete the first fucking time.
Well, and I know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I kind of blamed it on Buckley. But first and foremost, they got to take some accountability in that too, bro. Like, once you found out this nigga was a crackhead, man, you can't keep fucking with this nigga.
Yep. And Jerome knew he was.
Yeah, like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the connection, all that shit, and that's cool. But the nigga's a crackhead. You can't trust a crackhead too far. I mean, come on now. If it's a hit, if you try to do a hit, that's the last motherfucker you want to go do some shit like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, he got the experience, of course, you know what I'm saying, with being a cop and being able to shoot guns, and you know what I'm saying, he probably could make the scene look right and shit, but he high, man. The motherfucker stay high. If he ain't fucking getting high all the time, he drinking. You know what I'm saying? And he, to me, I always looked at that. I always looked at that relationship they had like, bro, that ain't never gonna be good for business because he don't have the focus. His focus is always off. But with a motherfucker like that, man, when you in that type of work and you doing that type of shit, You know what I'm saying? Especially being in the streets, bro. You got to be on 10 at all times. You got to make sure you focused and on point at all times. And you could be off just a little bit and look where it end up getting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we all seen it. He fucked Jerome over. He done fucked Louis over a bunch of times. He done fucked Jerome over in the ultimate way. Yep. And you know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, this is a motherfucker that you're supposed to have working for you. This is supposed to be a nigga that's supposed to be your runner. And look what he did. He fucked it all up. And then turn around when you know what I'm saying, in the shit and you running from the DEA, this motherfucker talking about he want half of your money. Nah, fam. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. You don't deserve half of the money.
Yeah, like stop, bro.
Yeah. He was dumb for that. But see, that's that crack talking. For him to even think that she would give him half of that money. So
he was gonna smoke that whole guy.
Oh man, he was gonna be broke in 3 months.
3 months. That shit wasn't gonna get him. Shit. He'd have been out there fucked up.
Yeah, man. So another thing that I wanted to speak on, man. So obviously, I think that we probably, unless they want to give us the little, you know, the picture, we probably seen the laugh of Gustavo.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Also, and so when Franklin brought his mom and Leon in, and they were like, "Yo, you leaving?" He was like, "Yeah." He said, "There's one last promise that I got to keep." So we were wrong because I didn't see nobody get out the plane but them two.
Yeah.
So, you know, he took Gustavo where he needed to go, and like they said their goodbyes. You could just tell, like, man, you could tell that they fucked with each other in that scene, and you could see the emotion that both of them had, and just the conversation that they had. Like, he was like, "Yo, what you gonna do now?" He's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "You know, maybe, you know, go back to, you know, being a wrestler or whatever." He was like, "Man, I'm retired." He's like, "Come on with a new character." You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you could tell, like that was, you know, connect. Like you said, you had brought up a great point. Either the last pod on this or the pod before, you was like, he never calls him Gustavo. He's always called him Oso. That's what he knew him, you know, knew him of. So, it was interesting to see that little goodbye, and then, you know, when he walks off and throws his hand up, he was just like, "Oso," and then he gets on the plane, and it's just like Damson has this ability to he can make like himself look it's like when he get and I'm gonna get deeper into it when we started getting into him and Teddy, but like he get this thing where he get teary-eyed, you know what I'm saying? And I think that the reason why he was like kind of getting teary-eyed when Oso was walking away, because he was like, "Yo, like, I'm fucking running out of friends." You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to lose everybody. This whole shit is falling apart. And this was one guy that, even though we were in this game together, like, I looked at Oso as a partner. I looked at him, you know what I'm saying, as a friend. Like, he was someone who saved my life, and I saved his life. And
shit, somebody you can trust, man.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, that's, to me, like, that's really what it's all about. If you know what I'm saying, like, just everything that doesn't happen, that was one of those people that he could trust. You know what I'm saying? He had his mom, of course. He had Leon, of course, even though they had their back and forth and had their beef. But, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, those are the people that, you know what I'm saying, he knew that when it was all said and done, he didn't have to worry about them people. And I felt like Oso was definitely one of those people. And then you add in the fact of, you know what I'm saying, Teddy and what he did and how he went along with everything. And them two having to, you know what I'm saying, team up and work together on some shit. Yo, that shit, I mean, it makes a fucking difference. I mean, even if you think about when Teddy was gone and, you know what I'm saying, the one dude was there or whatever. And, you know what I'm saying, all of them, Teddy, Oso, they was good. I mean, not Teddy, Franklin and Oso, they was good. You know what I'm saying? Franklin was flying planes, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker he had mansions and shit. Like, shit was nice. You know what I'm saying? His girl was running a successful business and everything. And you know what I mean? Like, they was in the money. And it seems to me like this whole thing came to what it had to be, you know what I'm saying, came to this point. Really, in a weird way because of Teddy, bro. Like if he would have never came back in this shit, everything would have probably went well. Now I do think though that all them motherfuckers would have probably went to jail, but you know what I'm saying. Outside of that, everything went all right.
Yeah, because it seemed like it was getting a little bit out of hand when Teddy was gone. So the one thing that Teddy did bring was structure to it.
Yeah.
But the type of structure that he did, which we'll get into, when we get there. But I do want to say this before we move forward is that I'm glad to see that Gustavo got out clean because he was the one who had the most pressure on him. He was the one that had so much. I mean, dude, I said this the last pod on this. Everything was riding on him. And I think that's why he was so fucking nervous was because he was like, yo, like if I don't make this happen, like there's gonna be so many lives lost. And everything is like weighing on my shoulders. So I'm happy to see that he was one of the people who got away. So that's that. Sissy and Leon, it was interesting to see them be there. And then so like they're having their little conversations or whatnot, but Sissy goes in to go talk to Teddy. Well, she talks to Teddy and my dude from the KGB. And he's trying, both of them are really trying, they really fucking with Sissy's head. And for some odd reason, she let what Teddy told her affect her more than what the KGB dude said. Because I think he was bullshitting about my briefcase was recorded. I think he was bullshitting. I don't think that damn thing was recorded. But then at the same time, you let Teddy tell you, yo, Alton is not dead. He's locked up in Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic.
Okay. I got something for that. I got something for that.
Up?
That was the turning point. And the reason I say this is because her whole demeanor changed when he did that. Remember in the beginning of it all, before the episode even start, how they were showing the flashbacks and everything else from previous episodes. And remember they had Franklin talking and he was saying like, yeah, my mom, she blames the CIA for all of this. Like she was like, I mean, he said something like to the extent like she'll do anything to, to end it or it bring all this to an end or whatever. And so because of that, I kind of knew that when they had that conversation, she was going to do something. I didn't think she was going to go to that extent and fuck everything up, but I felt like she was definitely going to do something. And even remember, I bring this point up a lot. Remember when they was at Franklin's house, her and Franklin was talking and she was like, yo, you with me or are you with them, Saint? Like, what's going on? Let's take these motherfuckers down. That's always been her motive for this season. Really, since Alton died, since she came back, that has been her motive, was to eliminate Teddy. And when he did that, I think that because of who she is and her background and everything that, she's been through in life and what she represents, especially with, when we seen how she had, like the Panthers there with her during the funeral, during Jerome's funeral, she has that revolutionary mindset and it's been more prevalent in this season than it has been in any of the other seasons. And usually when we seen Sissy in the previous seasons, we seen her as the soft and gentle mom and, the lady who everybody kind of, is taking care of. In this season particularly, she has been, in a little bit of last season too, but this one particularly, she has definitely been the the fire starter. She's definitely been the fireball in this one. And her whole demeanor has always been to attack throughout this whole thing. It seems like her softness has kind of dwindled. You know what I'm saying? Up until the point where now she's like she had to harden and she had to make shit happen. And so seeing that, I don't know, man. I think once he said that to her, like, yo, he not dead. You didn't see no blood. You didn't see a body, blah, blah, blah. I think that she took that as a sign of like, oh, you disrespected me now. You playing me for stupid. Because, motherfucker, why would you send him to jail? First and foremost, how could you, and this is how I looked at it too, how could you possibly, in a whole nother country, how could you kidnap him and then take him to jail and then that's it? Nobody seen nothing, nobody said nothing, nothing looked funny, it wasn't no sign of struggle or nothing. Come on, bro, stop it. So I think she was like, oh, okay, you insulting my intelligence, my G. Yeah, like, all right, I got you. I know how to deal with you. And you could tell like she was just fed up even talking to him though. So I think that later on in the end, when he was on the phone and she was like, yo, what prison he in? And when he finally reacted the way he did, you know what I'm saying, that set her off. And I think she's really she's really been waiting and building up into this point. Because remember, they was talking about letting him go. She was like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you about to let this motherfucker go? We got this motherfucker. We can end all this shit right now. This motherfucker ain't gonna never let you live like you want to live. Regardless of where you go, they gonna do their best to find you. Your son ain't gonna be safe. Your girl ain't gonna be safe. You ain't gonna be safe. Shit, we ain't gonna be safe. Because they know what he's capable of, regardless if he's still CIA or not. We seen what he can still do, and we seen the moves that he can still make. This motherfucker ain't been CIA for a minute, but he got the connects, so he's still out here moving freely, and that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. But the pit put a slight button on that.
Mm-hmm.
So V comes in, and she's telling Franklin, like, because Franklin tried to do, you know what I'm saying, a little interrogation to try to get, you know what I'm saying, get Teddy to flip. You know, he did the whole little water thing. That didn't work. So, all right. So V comes and she's like, look, you know, the bank, you know, they try to take a payment, check bounced. Like, look, we got to get this money. Like, if we don't get this money, this whole downtown thing is going to fall apart, and everything that we work for is going to be all fucked. And so she's basically like, yo, are you willing to do, like, basically what it takes?
Yeah.
So she pulls out this fucking corn oil. So then she takes the fucking bag off of Teddy's head. And she's like telling this whole story about how her mom never cooked. And she's like, my mom never cooked because all it took was one time for her mama to get burnt with hot grease.
Now, remember, the kitchen caught on fire.
Oh, the kitchen caught on fire.
She said the kitchen caught on fire because her grandma was cooking. And she said that traumatized her ever since she was a little girl, so she don't never cook.
And so Franklin heats it up. And Teddy, he still don't give it up. And so Franklin goes to burn his chest. So Veronique, even though she, you know, anytime you hear somebody screaming violently like that, it's, you know, it's probably never like a, you know what I'm saying, a good place to even be in. But at the same time, this was my thing. And this is another part that I thought that was genius that they put in the script and how Damson handled it, how Franklin handled it. So when he's having these conversations with Teddy about trying to get Teddy to break, when he starts talking about like, yo, like I basically had like visions of us, like, you know what I'm saying, being friends for a very long time. And saying that how they was partners and how he even brought him in, and Teddy's using all this shit about God, and he was like, "Oh man, I did that to you to see if you were ready," and all that type shit. And it was like to see the emotion in his face and in his eyes, like he really thought. And we talked about this, but he really thought like Teddy was this guy. He was like, "Yo, like we're like." Do you remember back? I think it was season 2 where Franklin and Teddy was sitting at this diner. Franklin was drinking milk or whatever, and like they was having this conversation, and it seemed like they was at a really really good rapport. I think this is when he found out what his real name was, and like so they were just talking, and it seemed like everything was good. Yeah. Like even though he was like, "Yo, like this is business and we're business partners or whatever," but it seemed like they kind of built like a friendship. And for Teddy to take, and like Franklin said, like, why did you take all of it? He was like, "Yo, you could have left me something." He was like, "Maybe I came after you, maybe I didn't." But at the same time, for you to take all of it, he's like, "That's just a tactic to show me that you are in charge." And he was like, you are just trying to be the hero of the story," the way he put it. I thought that whole interaction, like, what did you think about? Because like, I think, don't get me wrong, the taking of the money, yes, but at the same time, I think the betrayal is what really set Franklin off, because I felt that he was duped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one thing we always have to remember when we watching this, bro. Like everybody in this motherfucker got a motive. And what that, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, what that motive is usually telling of who the character is. I think that people have forgotten that Teddy's motive was to get back in the CIA. And maybe I'm tripping, because that's the last thing I remember was this nigga was trying to get back in the CIA. His whole plan was to work with I forgot what his handler name was, but was to work with him and prove to the director that he was capable of being back in it. And this was his way of getting back in it, by showing them, look, I can still run this, I can still do this. Not only that, I can make sure everything is cool, and I'm literally in charge of everything. They trust me, they got me. They're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, go around. And not only that, now they fear me. And so to me, when Teddy took all of that money, that was more so of a thing like, hey, nah, I'm not about to let him get away with this, because if I let him get away with this, now I'm gonna look like, you know what I'm saying, everything is fucked up. Now it's gonna look like I've lost control. And when he said, like, yeah, you just want to be the hero in this, he had to look like the hero. Because if he don't look like the hero, he's not gonna get back in. And I think that's been his whole plan since he's been out of it. Like his whole thing is, I need to get back in the CIA. That's where my shit is. That's where everything lies. I've lost too much. I've sacrificed too much. I've given too much blood, too much sweat, too many tears. And, you know, with everything that he's had to go through and the shift that he's had to make in certain situations, even, you know what I'm saying, going back to when he was talking to Louie and he was like, yo, I just want you to get me Franklin. Like, remember, he told her, like, no, you work for me. Don't forget that part. Like, you work for me. So like he's been pulling the big dick card for a minute.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's been pulling out the big joker for a minute. And I think that with him having to go to those lengths, I think that that's what was kind of getting him in the process of getting fucked up. And you could kind of see that everything was going to start tumbling to at that point. I think Franklin did make a good point. You know what I'm saying? Why did you take all my money? Because then it doesn't seem like you was trying to, excuse me, it don't seem like you was trying to steal it because you took all of it. So it's a reason you took all of it. Now, if he'd have took a little bit of it, it'd look like he was just trying to steal it. This looks like something way bigger than, you know what I'm saying, than a thief move. This was on some, oh, okay, let me go ahead and I can show you how to stop all this shit type move. And I think that when Franklin seen that and that shit happened, Franklin was like, nah, bro. Like, yeah, I'm the monster you created. And remember, that's what I've been saying this whole time. He's created this fucking monster. This is what he brought it to. And even when he was sitting in the chair and he was talking about, I created you. I'm the reason all of this shit happened. And, you know, none of this shit would be possible without me. I mean, yeah, to an extent, but you gotta realize though that none of this shit really would be possible. You doing whatever you did and getting to the point that you got wouldn't be possible without Franklin. It's a two-way street. And I felt like if he go ahead.
Do you think that's why he said that he would split it with him? It's because like the thing is, I don't think that it would have got up to $73 million without Franklin. And I think that he knows it wouldn't have got that high. Now, Franklin wouldn't have got to that amount of money without Teddy, and Teddy wouldn't have got to that type of money without him. Like it started out as a partnership, and I think that they both needed each other to get to that type of money. And so for Teddy to say, yo, what about if we split it 37 mil? You know what I'm saying? And we just forget all of this shit. Do you think that's why he finally said that, or do you think he was just trying to save himself? Or it could be two things could be true.
Yeah, that's probably more likely, but for the most part, I think it was more so him trying to save himself. I think it was leaning more towards that for sure. Because at the end of the day, like his whole thing was him trying to use as many scare tactics and mind games as possible to confuse them. You know what I'm saying? To try to turn them on to each other and everything else. And in a way, he did that with Louis. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of had Louis feeling like she was able to run this whole thing, and we seen where that ended up getting hurt. But they was all on the same page. They wasn't fucking with nothing he said at all, bro. They wasn't fucking with Teddy at that point. And at that point, I feel like he had done so much to fuck everything up to where it was just like, oh yeah, we gotta get you up out of here, bro. Like none of this shit that you saying is even relevant at this point. Because remember when he was like, yo, you know, you think that you're gonna get away with this shit? Like, yo, they gonna come get you, they gonna find you. Like, and then on top of that, you working with the Russians, look, they'll knock down every wall just to get to you. And Franklin told him, like, yeah, that shit sound good, but motherfucker, I know you're not with the CIA anymore. So if anything, you more fucked up than I am. Because now they got to get rid of you too. And that's another thing that we forgetting too, is that his head was on the line for this whole thing. We know how the CIA get down. So if everything would have been fucked up to the point to where it got out of control, yo, they would have offed them. Remember what happened when they talked about when the reporter, the Irene chick, had you know what I'm saying, got him out there. This motherfucker had to go to a whole nother country and turn into Rambo.
Turn into Rambo.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny.
So shit. I mean, yeah, his life was on the line as much as everybody else's was, if not more, to be honest.
Yeah, because Teddy got to a point where he was expendable. You know what I'm saying? And the CIA knew he was, but they also knew that they were in a situation where they could just be like, "Yo, that motherfucker is rogue." You know what I'm saying? And they could just say that, you know, he was just a straight up drug dealer. He used to work for us, and now he's a drug dealer. That's all it is to it. The CIA, they can clean that shit up real easy, and I think that that's what's going to end up happening. I think that when they do the whole little news, which I don't know how they're going to do it, but I feel like they might do like a little news report saying former agent killed during a drug deal type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that Teddy
put that shit on the news.
Like, I don't think he's gonna get a send off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, as far as the CIA or whatever.
No,
because
I'm with you on that. I think that, like I said, I don't even think we hear about this shit at all.
That's interesting.
He connected to too much shit. Former CIA agent dies, and then when they, you know what I'm saying, they got to release the details about him being handcuffed, and nah, we can't do that because now it looked like either domestic terrorism. Like, why did they have a CIA agent cuffed up? Why you got burn marks on him? You know what I'm saying? Or
True.
It could be some other shit where if they do go that way and talk about him, like you said, they got to turn him into a rogue.
Yeah.
I
think they definitely they're gonna throw him under the bus.
Absolutely.
Most
You
definitely.
got to at this point. Because with everything that's been done, the American people cannot find out that the reason that LA is in a crack epidemic is because of the CIA.
Yeah.
That would be absurd.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to take the blame for that. I mean, they end up doing it, but it's not yet.
Right.
So I think that once Teddy says, "Yo, like we'll split it up," Franklin goes back in there. He's talking to Sissy, and Sissy's like, basically, like we can't let this dude live. Like, it ain't all about the money, all this little shit or whatever, whatnot. So she gives Franklin an ultimatum, like, "Yo, like if you go with this is gonna be the last time I see you."
Yeah.
And he's just like, so be it. Like, I need this money. And I think the way Franklin was looking at it, it's like, look, you'll be mad at me for a while. Eventually, you'll get over it. Well, I think that. Do you think that's what he was thinking? To go along with the plan anyway?
Of course, because they was having a baby.
Yeah, she's gonna
see it. Yeah, he knew he was gonna see his mom still. Especially when that baby came. That wasn't, not about to let that happen. I think for the most part, though, her whole thing was just, especially I think with letting with his decision to let Teddy live. I think it was more so her just saying, "Hey, I don't want to be around when he recovers and he gets to the point to where he can actually move on you." You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she wanted that to happen.
Do you think, okay, I don't know if he necessarily was going to let him go. I think, because this is the thing. He made a promise to Gustavo. And Gustavo, before he left, he was like, "Hey, promise me again that you're not going to let Teddy walk." You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to look over my back. I think that what Franklin was doing was like, "Yo, soon as this fucking password go through and this password and transfer go through."
Yeah.
Because once his transfer go through, I think that he was gonna off Teddy. But I think that Sissy.
Well, he couldn't, not in front of the CIA agent.
No, not in front of the agent. I just think that he would have found, because this is the thing. I don't know if Teddy would have been there for the other exchange for the KGB person, but I honestly think, because this is the thing. How many times have we talked about Franklin always think things, 2 steps ahead?
He
right?
does. He definitely does. But this is my only thing, though.
Okay.
Like, okay, if Teddy is, because to me, what I feel like is what he should have did. He should have got a KGB agent up first.
Okay.
That's what he should have did. And I feel like if he'd have gave the KGB agent up first, he'd have got some type of leeway, and he'd have still been able to get his money. And putting Teddy in that position to possibly get up out of there. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, that's the route that he should have took. And we know why now, but I don't think that's the route he should have took, because first and foremost, you was only getting half of your money. You wasn't even getting the whole thing. Because I think they said what, 36?
37.
37. So you only getting half of that. You ain't even getting the whole thing at this point. And really less than half. But at the end of it, if you do get that money, like Sissy said, bro, they're gonna be on your head from dusk till fucking dawn, bro. You're not gonna be able to get out of this shit. You're gonna have to look over your shoulder all the fucking time, no matter where the fuck you at. We know how far they can reach. They done showed us in the season how far these motherfuckers could reach. Hell, Teddy was in South America. He was out there with the shit. So, you know what I'm saying? If he was able to do that and be off the radar, and then able to go to Cuba and find, you know what I'm saying, Alton and all that shit, what make you think that he wasn't gonna be able to find you and your kid and your girl, and then come find everybody else? So to me, it was already a bad move. They should have just killed him. Plain and simple. Because to me, I feel like once you found out you wasn't gonna be able to get your money, and you had to talk to the handler dude and be like, yo, I'll make a deal with you. I'll give Teddy up if you give me, you know what I'm saying, at least half of my money. Man, you're not gonna get away with that shit, bro.
I feel you on. I feel you. I feel you on that, man. I just feel like somehow, some way, Franklin had a plan to still dispose of Teddy. I don't think that he was gonna. Now, granted, the conversation that they had, what we do know is that he still really had a soft spot for Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
But with the whole thing of Sissy not letting Franklin get the money, do you think that had something to do with Alton? The way that Franklin was towards him, because we all know that when Alton made the decision to, to try to destroy the whole organization by telling, on the Panther radio station,
Mm-hmm.
Teddy's real name and all this type of shit, and how Franklin was just flat out done with Alton or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing is, and when I saw this, I was like, this is the question that I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to see where we on the same page on this. Why do you think she didn't let Teddy at least attempt to really get the transfer to go through? Like, why do you think she shot him before Franklin could get the money?
Because she knew, she already said it. She knew where that was gonna go. First off, you just showed the CIA dude who you were and where you was at. So now that's another motherfucker that can come get you. And that's a motherfucker who can identify you at this point. They already got hella evidence on you and what you do and all that other shit, so they can take you down whenever. I think what she was really trying to do ultimately was protect him. Because, like you said, with everything that happened to Alton, she knows what this motherfucker is capable of. She been knew it, you know what I'm saying? She been knew what they're capable of, because as you know what I'm saying, they was Panthers. So she already knew what the fuck these motherfuckers could do. Why would she allow Franklin to have to go through that? You know what I'm saying? Why would she allow Franklin to have to deal with that? And to me, her sacrificing herself was the ultimate move, because now all the heat is off of Franklin. And I think when she told him, like, yo, I don't want to see you again, you're not going to see me again, and everything else, I think she kind of made up her mind on what she was going to do. Because remember, she was like, I go with him. That way, you know what I'm saying, we can do everything. You and Leon stay here, blah, blah, blah. She had already made up her mind how she was going to get that motherfucker up out of here. And that's when I think when she was like, "Yo, what prison was he in?" When that scenario happened, that was her way of getting that courage up to, okay, I gotta kill this motherfucker.
But my thing is, why fuck Franklin up on the money?
Because to her the money wasn't worth it. I think, at least. I think to her the money wasn't worth it because she knows what's gonna come with that money. That's $36 million worth of fucking chaos, stress, and possible death. You know what I'm saying? And instead of having him get that money and and having them on his ass for the rest of his life, you can easily just go live your life and, you know what I'm saying, build up whatever you need to build up. The truth of the matter is that with all them buildings and shit that they got, he could sell them motherfuckers and get rid of all that shit and get whatever capital he can get from that. And bro, just go somewhere and live your life. Go raise your kid. Get out of the bullshit. We seen this possible because shit, Leon and them left.
Yeah.
Without an issue. And I know he ain't had nowhere near the money that Franklin had. So take all that shit that you had, sell all your assets off, take your ass over back. You, Leon, Wanda, Veronique, all y'all take your ass over to fucking what's the name? Go to Ghana. Go back to Ghana. Yeah, go to Ghana.
I see what you're saying. And I completely agree with, like, she had her mind made up. And like she knew no matter what happened, she was taking Teddy out. I just thought it was interesting to take him out before Franklin could get the money because I felt like that she would have thought that, yo, like, this is, you know, your meal ticket to get you and Veronique out of here. But I think that with them being on the page that they was on when it came to Alton, even though Alton had his issues, but he was able to get himself clean. And for Alton to make the decision that he made to basically go against Franklin, to tell Franklin, like, yo, like, well, he was right about Teddy.
Absolutely.
Alton was definitely right about Teddy because Franklin looked at him and Teddy as being partners and shit. But Alton was the whole time was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? He'll basically dime you out as soon as he don't need you anymore.
Yep.
And as soon as he didn't need him anymore, he started working with Louis and he fucking cleaned out his account. So Alton was right the whole time.
Yeah. Because they already knew what they was capable of. They done already dealt with these motherfuckers before. They know what happened with the other Panthers and how these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, use they reach to get rid of everybody else. So to them, this was just like a rerun.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, man. And now to see that everything that Franklin went through to try to break Teddy, because it seems that he did break Teddy. But for her to shoot him before he could get the money, I think she was also sending multiple messages to Franklin by doing it that way, by sacrificing herself, by not letting him get the money,
right,
by just showing him like, yo, there's different ways. Like, money isn't this important. Like, when they was trying to tell Franklin, even Leon was like, yo, like, man, look, man, this shit ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? To kill this dude over this money. And he was just like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I think that with shooting him without letting him get the money, I think that she was just really trying to send a message to him. And like, yeah, in the moment, yeah, you're mad right now. At this very moment, you're pissed that you're not getting your money and that I'm going to jail. But there's going to be a light bulb that goes off in your head to show you, like, yo, this isn't the way. Because also something else, you was talking about selling the building assets and all that type shit. If he need to, he can sell that plane. You know what I'm saying? So he has things that can get him a good amount of money. To where he could be set. And also he still got the properties and shit that he's renting out to people. Like Franklin could still have a really, really good life. Without that $37 million. And I think that he's really trying to tell him, like, yo, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices as well. But within those sacrifices,
good point.
You're gonna see like what I like. This was my last motherly lesson to you.
Yeah.
To try to get you to understand that there is another way.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, this motherfucker had to go. And I told you when I came back.
Damn, she was gunning for that.
She told him when she came back from fucking Cuba. She told him, like, yo, Teddy got to go. And this is before Franklin got his money stolen. So she got what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? She revenged the Panthers. She revenged her husband. She revenged her son.
Yeah.
She revenged, you know what I mean? Black people all over fucking Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And to me, right, the best thing about this show is the fact that we actually get to see a W. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a W for real. Even though Franklin might not see it that way, this is a W because the most crucial piece of this puzzle, the most dangerous piece of this puzzle, is now eliminated from all of this shit. And you don't have to worry too much about anything because for the most part, even let's say they do come at you now, how do they come at you without the testimony of Teddy, who was a part of all of this shit, started this shit, like this was his whole operation, and now that really the only motherfuckers that's been over this shit are both dead. Remember, he killed the one dude that replaced him.
Yep.
And now he's dead. So it's like they don't got shit for real.
They really don't.
A bunch of motherfuckers just own cocaine. And not only that, it's people out here getting it from other places too. So Teddy ain't the only one, you know what I'm saying, that's providing it at this point. That shit coming from everywhere, it seemed like now, because it was people talking about going to other buyers and having other plugs. So
yeah, because frankly, he could just be like, the thing is, he has legitimate businesses.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, if I remember correctly, I think he ended up getting a legitimate loan from a place, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, the money that Franklin is using is all accounted for. So it's like you said, like the government, they don't have, even though dude met him, it's kind of like, well, Sissy was the one who fired the shot and killed them. So it's kind of like,
yeah,
like you said, like she was saving Franklin in that moment. So dude didn't really have anything, but he got assumptions. But it's just like, if they went, now don't get me wrong, if they wanted Franklin to go, the government can find a way to, you know what I'm saying, to lock his ass up.
They could have got him right then and there.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to, they could have got him right then and there. Because remember, when she shot Teddy, it was only maybe a minute and a half, and them motherfuckers start moving in.
Yeah. But what did you think about the scene of, like, man, when Teddy hit the ground and Franklin was like, hold on, like, you know, he's gonna give you the password and he's trying to hold Teddy up. It was just like the desperation, man. Like he was so hurt.
Well, this is the way I looked at that, bro. Like if you think about it, man, everything that he's pretty much put into any plan that he's put into action has always come to fruition. And I think that in a weird way, this is our first time seeing one of his plans fail. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of the one times where he's come up with a plan and it didn't work, or it ended up getting fucked up. And now I think this is going to be, especially with this next episode coming up, I feel like this is where we're going to have to see him really do a bounce back. Like we're going to have to see how he really is under that type of scrutiny and pressure. And if that shit is you know what I'm saying, is going to be as good as it has been in previous episodes, because now, you know what I'm saying, his mom is going to be in jail. And I know her life gonna be on the line when she get locked up because of who she killed. Not only that, Franklin got away, but they still got the KGB agent, so they got to worry about that. So I think it's gonna be a lot of shit packed into this next episode. That's gonna be telling. I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I'm kind of nervous to see how this all falls. You know what I'm saying? Falls into place.
I'm with you, and I think that you made a really, really good point there. But it's oh, man, it's for this episode to go down the way it went down. It's just like, yo, I don't know who's gonna make it. Like I feel like there's gonna be another body to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like someone is gonna get locked up too. Like it's man, it can go so many ways, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, the possibilities.
The one thing that I'm mad at is the fact that they didn't kill Louis. I don't like the fact that she's still alive.
Do you think, I don't know if Louis, do you think she's actually gonna leave Los Angeles?
Shit, she got to.
I understand that. But do you think, because like the only reason I say that is
she
because
got a place to go. I think.
The thing is, man, I just feel like unless Buckley has some kind of, because I don't know if that is his car, his work car.
Remember, he's not on the force no more.
But what I'm saying is, could they track the car?
I doubt it.
Okay.
They could probably track. I mean, if they see the plate or whatever, but I doubt it. I don't even think that he fuck with them. Like I don't even think they fuck with him at this point.
I only say that because I don't know if we seen the last of Louis. Like I
agree. I agree with.
And that's what I mean. It's like I don't know if she's gonna come back voluntarily, or you know what I'm saying. That's why I said the whole track device thing. Like I just don't think that Louis' story is gonna end like that. Like something else has to happen. So that's something that I'm going to be interested in seeing, because like we're going to end up seeing everybody's fate. Like we already know Wanda is going to make it because of the show that's going to be coming. We see Gustavo got away. Teddy's dead. Sissy is going to go to prison. So there are these lingering stories of like, not only is Franklin going to survive, but it's just like, where do he go from here? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, yo, the 73 or the $37 million, you're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole that ship has sailed. It's to see how it's going to play out with him, to see how things are going to play out with Leon.
Mm-hmm.
What is he gonna do with the KGB guy? Like there's still some fates that's left, and it's gonna be real interesting to see how they play this shit out, man. I thought the writing. Look, we have been commending these people on the writing
Absolutely.
that they've been doing, man, and for them to end this the way that they ended it, I sent you that meme of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody damaged their TV after watching it
Bruh.
but I'm pretty sure that was more of like, yo, Franklin had that money in his
It was
grasp,
right
man.
there,
It
bro.
was right there, man.
Right there,
And he
man.
didn't get it because I think everyone, if you are emotionally attached to the show, everybody wanted Franklin to get his money back.
Yeah, man, because you want him to go off into the sunset with the W, man. And then, like I said, I I stated it before we even got started, man. Depending on what side you're on and how you look at this could be a L or this could be a W. And I feel like this was a W. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she really made sure that he was okay. You know what I mean? He don't gotta look over his shoulder now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man.
I don't know though, man. For the last episode, bro, like, yo, they gonna, man, as good as they've been writing, bro. I don't know what to expect. I know they show the previews and stuff, but bro, I don't know what to expect, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't either. Like, man, it's like usually, like I remember, like last season and the season before, like we used to kind of like guess what was going to happen. Dude, I have no clue.
Yeah,
Like, I have no clue.
yeah,
I did not see this episode ending the way that it ended
at all. And that's a
So
hell of a way to end that motherfucker, man. Like, just pow, pow, and you just seeing everything. But the way shit happened was so crazy because like the agent, he just walked off like ain't shit happened. And really, he probably glad that shit happened too, bro. Because now that's a weight off of his motherfucking shoulders. He probably gonna go back to the director like, yeah, we clear, we good. We ain't got nothing to do with this shit. That motherfucker dead. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing on it. Shit, if we want to go after him, we can go after him. If not, fuck him. But that's crazy, man.
Yep, that's definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. So, man, what's to come? What's to come, man? That it's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be an ending that I'm gonna hate to see. Like a lot of shows that I've really been fucking with, man, has been coming to an end. You know what I'm saying? Where there is it being spoken about, it is being the last season. Like, fucking Shameless ended, and they told you it was gonna be the last season. My show Animal Kingdom, they said it was gonna be the last season. The way that they ended that shit, like they really, I think they did a really good job with that show of that season finale that they did with that one. So this is going, it's still a lot riding on it, man.
Yeah.
But I still will say, like, you know what? Never mind. We'll speak about that when it's over.
Absolutely.
I was about to say top 5 show, but we'll see. We'll see. They
It's
got to end this shit right.
Yeah, if they ended right, it's definitely up there for sure, man. But
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get into the coming soon, bro.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So next, we have something very nice. A movie that just came out not too long ago. I was so excited talking about this joint. What we watching yet because I wanted to eventually cover it, but you know what I'm saying, the homie S Dot, man, he got that telepathy, bro. He said, hey, I know what we gonna do, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's out right now. Let's go ahead and cover it. I said, let's do it. So that's right, man. Next episode, Cocaine Bear, man. Get prepared to laugh, get prepared to enjoy yourself. This one is going to be fun in the sun, bro. I can't wait to do this one, bro. This shit gonna be hilarious.
Well, I haven't watched it yet. You know what I'm saying? It just came out on Peacock today.
Yeah.
So I can't really get into it, but I knew, like, because when we did the up and coming episode, like this was your number one. You was like, yo, like I
Absolutely.
cannot wait to see Cocaine Bear.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yo, like this is your part, just as much as it's mine. I was like, I know it's something you want to talk about at some point. They dropped it. We gonna do it.
For
So
sure, man. We definitely got to do that. And this shit gonna be hilarious, man. But listen, guys, if you know what I'm saying, if you enjoyed that Snowfall episode, if somehow you were under a rock and you didn't see the Snowfall episode, or you know what I'm saying, if you want to kill a CIA agent like Sissy, man, hit us up on the socials. On Instagram and Twitter at View9Pod. You can also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And don't forget, we do have a community on Twitter. So you can go there, join us. We can talk about movies, TV shows, what's coming out, all that good stuff surrounding Hollywood and you know what I'm saying, and all of its product. If you would like to follow me, hit me up on Twitter at Schools Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio, and you can find me everywhere else there.
y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter at 28 minutes or less pod. It's just on IG. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Last episode is still 121. Jamaica Thompson, you know what I'm saying? The lady that they call the Queen Pen. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I went over her, man, in my little drug dealer series. So go check that out on all major platforms.
For sure, man. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. It is greatly appreciated. Without you, there could be no us. We never forget that. And listen, man, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.